Hi everyone and welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Matilda and this is a very different video to what I usually upload. Today I'm going to talk about my foot, which doesn't sound all that interesting and it might not be all that interesting, but it's something I have to get off my chest and I want to make this so I can look back on it. If you don't find it interesting, that's totally fine. Feel free to click off of this video anytime you want. But I need to make this video for my sanity and for my future self to look back on. Now, when I uploaded a video back in the beginning of January saying that I was gonna change up my content and upload things when I felt like it and try new things, this was not a thing I thought I was gonna do. First of all, I had some videos back then that I thought I would have uploaded at this point, but due to some computer issues and moving and life and the foot, I'll get back to that, surprise, this is where we're at. Now, if you've been following me for a little while, you might have heard me talk about my foot. I injured my foot back in September and I know I've mentioned it a couple times since then. And today I'm going to give you the full story, or the full story up until this point, because believe it or not, it's not over yet. So before I get fully into it, I just want to say that this video might be in multiple parts because I'm filming some of it today, and then I'm going to add other bits in the future as things happen. So this video will have different parts filmed on different days, and it might also end up being multiple videos depending on how long I talk for. But yes, I'm filming this part, the part you're seeing right now when I look like this, on the 1st of March 2019. But that is not where the story begins. Instead, let's just rewind the time until September 29th, 2018. On September 29th, Marcus and I had some family over celebrating our birthdays because both him and I had birthdays in October, but we were going to be in Japan for that. So we wanted to celebrate with our families before we went. They'd been over, we'd had something to eat, they'd left, it had been a very good day, and Marcus and I decided to go for an evening walk and take out some trash. Back then we lived in an apartment on the 3rd floor without an elevator. So we grabbed the trash, we locked the door, we walked down these 3 sets of stairs without any problems, open the front door, the door to the building, and step outside. And when you step outside of that place, there's like a brick or a stone thing that you step onto, and it's maybe like that tall. So you step onto that and then you take a step down. It's not a very big thing, it's just you take a step onto that and then the next step you take, you step off of it. Now, I was walking first, Marcus was walking behind me, and something made a noise, something in the trash made a noise, which made me turn my head around to look, try to discover the source of the noise, because I'm a cat, apparently, while still walking. So I took the step off of this step, basically, and I put my right foot down on the ground, but it was a gravel path right there. I put my foot down on the ground, and it sort of twisted outward, and I didn't really have time to stop it. So it twisted and it twisted and it twisted. Like, it happened like that. It's not like I let this happen. It happened really fast. But it twisted and twisted and twisted and twisted. And while it twisted, I was like mid-step. So I, you know, propel forward? No, but I move forward. Meaning my foot twisted over like onto the back of itself, and I put my body weight on it. And it let out a very loud sound. And it hurt, and I let out some tears and some curse words and was just in a lot of pain. And I sort of sunk down on this step and just sat there and told Marcus just go drop the trash because I needed a moment. And one of my neighbors was out with their dog, and she was like, oh my god, can I do something? And I was like, no, it's fine, because I just wanted to be left alone and I was in so much pain. And she was like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, no, I'm great. And eventually she left, and I, like, no hard feelings to her. I'm very grateful that she asked, but I was just not in a position to talk about this. She left, and Marcus came back, and the trash cans were just around the corner. He came back, and I was sitting on this step crying, and my foot was hurting, and I started crying about, I have ruined our Japan trip. Because that was on the day 2 weeks before we were supposed to go to Japan, a trip that we planned for like 3 years. Marcus, being the calm and rational person that he is, was like, no, you haven't ruined Japan, it's gonna be fine, you'll be fine. And he helped me to my feet and back up the stairs. And this was in the evening, it was like 8:30, 9 maybe. He helped me upstairs, he helped me to the couch and got an elastic wrap thing and some ice, and we put that on my foot and we wrapped it real tight according to what you're supposed to do, and we left it on, and that was that. And I did have a slight concern that maybe it's broken, but I've broken one bone, possibly two, I don't want to talk about the nose, in my life, and that was my arm, and that was when I was 7. I am now 25, I was 24, almost 25 when this happened, and yeah, I don't know what that pain is supposed to feel like, but since I heard the sound, I was a little bit concerned that maybe it was broken. But this was a Saturday and it was in the evening, and we lived very far from the hospital. We could have gone there, but it felt a bit excessive. And we just decided to wait, and we iced it and we wrapped it up, and then like we followed the procedure you're supposed to according to like the recommendations we have here in Sweden. And we went to bed, got up the next morning, I was in pain. I started going a little bit blue. I'll see if I have any pictures I can insert. It was Sunday, I was still in pain, I was limping around, had an elastic, tried to not put so much weight on it, but the pain wasn't worse, and I was a little bit blue, but that's to be expected. I should also mention maybe at this point that I have like twisted my ankles a fair bit as a kid. It's been years now, but I'd done that, but I knew that putting the elastic bandage on and elevating it, which I also did, is enough and it'll pass in a couple of days. But the pain was still pretty bad on the Sunday, and I made the decision that on Monday morning I was going to go see my GP because they have a drop-in time in the morning. I got up Monday morning and I was like fairly cocky that like I'm better now, right? I walked like 5-10 minutes to the GP, and when I got there I was in pain, so good thing I went. And I got to see my GP who like, you know, twisted my foot, like bent my foot around a couple different ways and extended, flexed it, different things. Saw that I was blue. I was then blue along the side of my foot, like the outside of my foot, and also a bit up on my ankle. Not too bad, but a bit of bruising. He asked if I wanted to get an x-ray, and I said, well, that's up to you, you're the doctor, do you think anything's broken? And he said, no, I don't think there's any bone damage at all. So borrow some crutches, use the elastic bandage, and it'll pass soon. We were now like 12-13 days off from going to Japan, and I figured, okay, in a bit or in a little while should mean I'm off the crutches before we go to Japan. Great. That did not happen. As we're approaching going to Japan, I realized that I'm not getting better. At that point I wasn't getting worse either, but I wasn't getting better. And I realized, okay, I have to bring the crutches. So I contacted the airline and I was like, is there anything I need to do? Do I need a doctor's note? Am I allowed to walk with them through, you know, the scanner and security, and like, how do I do that? Everything was fine. Everyone was really good about it, both when I talked to customer service online and when I actually went through security and when I was on the plane and stuff. Everything was great. So I brought my crutches to Japan, and I figured that, well, if my foot was going to be good soon, in a little while from when I heard it 2 weeks prior, I shouldn't need to use them the entire 4 weeks we were going to Japan. I should be able to, you know, stop using them after a while, and that'd be fine. That didn't happen. So we were in Japan for 4 weeks, and as you know, if you've been on this channel before, Marcus was really ill and had to have surgery when we came home, but that's a different story. But yeah, I was not getting better, and we came home on November 9th, it's a Friday, and that weekend I sent a message to my GP clinic going, hey, I'm not better and I would like to be seen again. I would like to see if something you can do because my foot's not better now. It's been 6 weeks. And that's a bit concerning to me. On Tuesday, the GP called me and was like, I've booked you for an x-ray. Go have an x-ray today and then come see me tomorrow, so Wednesday. I went to the x-ray, I went to see him. There was no bone damage. I wasn't really thinking that there was, but something was clearly wrong with my foot. At this point, it was not blue or anything. It had stopped being blue quite a while prior, but it was painful, and I needed the crutches and I needed the bandage, and it wasn't good. So my GP flexed the foot back and forth and tried different things, and one of the things he did was he put his thumb against the, you know, the outer knuckle on your foot and just gently pressed at it, and I screamed out loud because it hurt so much. And at this point it had been 6 weeks since I got injured, and he asked me to tell the story again of how it happened, and I did. I told him the same story again, and when I got to the point that my foot went when it happened, his face sort of dropped and he was like, it went, and I was like, yes, I told you this 6 weeks ago, and yes, that is the noise it made. So he then decided I should have an MRI, and he referred me for that, and there was a bit of wait time for it, and this must have been the 15th of November, and I had it a week and a half later maybe. And on the 30th of November, my doctor, my GP, called me up and he tells me that there is something wrong with my MRI. At this point, I'm still on crutches, everything is still sucky. Spoiler alert, me right now, 5 weeks after the injury, is also still on crutches, so yes. But yeah, my MRI was abnormal and it looked like a pretty big injury, not good. So he was referring me to an orthopedic doctor. And this was again November 30th that I got this information, and I got an appointment to the orthopedic surgeon or orthopedic doctor, depending on what word you want to use, on January 29th. So 2 months later. And somewhere in my mind I'd sort of come to terms with the fact that I might need surgery, because I mean, by the time I saw the doctor in January, it had been 4 months since the injury occurred and I wasn't getting better. Could arguably say I was getting worse, and it was super frustrating. So I'd sort of come to terms with the fact that I would have to have surgery, but I also talked to a friend who's in the field and she recently had an injury, and she said that her doctor told her that you rarely actually want to operate on the ligaments in the foot, which is, by the way, where I had the injury. The injury wasn't a ligament, I should have said that before, but whatever. You rarely operate on ligaments in the foot because it doesn't usually help, or it doesn't make it that much better. So I'd sort of come to terms with it, but I also sort of didn't think it would happen, and all I wanted was to be better, and I was not getting better. I was in pain, I was on painkillers that weren't helping, I was on crutches and had to have my foot wrapped all the time and elevated every once in a while, and it was just not good. I was a little bit worried that the orthopedic doctor would not take me seriously, that he would be like, well, why haven't you just started physio, or why haven't you ditched your crutches and put weight on your foot, or whatever it may be. Whereas I'd only been following what my GP had said. But I went to see the orthopedic doctor and he was super nice. Like, he took me seriously and he was really nice. And he was like, yeah, it is concerning that it's been 4 months and you're not getting better. And he had me do some like walking tests, walk back and forth. And he also like bent my feet and tested the tendons and ligaments and whatnot. And very quickly came to the conclusion that I should have surgery. And despite knowing this, despite knowing for 4 months at that point that surgery could be an option, it still kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. And I got very sad. And part of that is just the frustration that it had been 4 months with no relief. And part of it was, it's ruining the sabbatical. And also Marcus and I were supposed to go to Japan again in March this year, in about 3 weeks from me filming this, which we would now have to cancel because I'm waiting for surgery. So I was not very happy. I mean, I was happy to be taken seriously and to finally have not an end in sight, but at least help in sight. That was relief, but also a lot of sadness. I cried a lot and I was angry. I was angry it's taken so long. But a couple days later I got to see a physio who did some tests, gave me some exercises, and when I was at his clinic I asked him, like, do you actually see something wrong? Because when I've been to the orthopedic surgeon, as soon as I took my sock off and took the elastic off, he was sitting opposite of me as I did that, and he looked at my foot and he was like, yeah, I can see that that's not the way it's supposed to look. Which, it doesn't look like my other foot, but I don't really know what it's supposed to look like. Probably like my other foot, but still. And when I was at the physio, I asked him, can you see what is wrong? Do you feel that it's wrong when you bend it and stuff? And he was like, yeah, yes I can. And so he took both my feet straight out from me, and then he bent them both inwards. And what's supposed to happen, because I've torn the outer ligament, I'll put the clinical name for it on the screen right now. I've torn that, and what it's supposed to do is supposed to stop your foot from being able to bend inward. This one did, my left one did. My right one just kind of continued past the point it should be able to go to. And I was like, huh, okay. And I don't know, I guess I've just been in denial. I obviously have been in pain. I've been complaining a lot about the pain. Ask anyone I know, and everything I've been talking about for the past 5 months at this point has been my foot and the pain. But it was nice to be taken seriously at both those places, and also to actually see that, yeah, okay, my foot is messed up, I need help to fix this. So today is March 1st, and on March 7th, so on Thursday, I am having my surgery. And I don't know how I feel about it. Again, I'm happy that I'm getting help, but I'm frustrated it's taken so long. I'm frustrated that I even need it to begin with. And I'm just wondering, could it have happened sooner if things had progressed differently and if I'd been more pushy, or if we hadn't gone to Japan, which we were never about to cancel that trip, but just like where it fell in the timeline of things. And yeah, I don't really know what I have to expect. Again, I've broken my arm. I broke my arm when I was 7 and I was in a cast for a little while, but A, it was an arm, B, kids heal faster. What I've been told is 6 to 8 weeks in a cast, and what they're gonna do is they're gonna open up my foot and either repair the ligament if they can, stitch it together. If there's not enough ligament there, which they won't know until they open me up, they're gonna take a tendon. You apparently have 2 tendons on the outside of your foot, from your ankle to the outside of your foot. They're gonna take one of those and turn it into a ligament and replace the torn ligament. And then I'll be in a cast for 6 to 8 weeks, and then I will have been immobilized, or my foot will have been immobilized for 6 to 8 weeks. So it's gonna be a whole lot of rehab afterwards. I'm very happy to finally get the help, and as frustrating as the whole journey has been up until this point, and as frustrating as the cast is going to be and the rehab is going to be and all of that, I'm happy something is finally happening. But I am having a hard time dealing with this. I would be lying if I said I wasn't. It's just frustrating. I find it really difficult to accept that I am injured and that I'm injured to this point. And I try to like with the move, for example, Marcus had to do a whole lot more than I did. Like he did a lot more of the packing and the moving and the carrying and all that than I did, because I can't. And we hired a moving company to do the actual moving of our stuff from, you know, our old apartment to this one. But everything before that, packing all the boxes and all that, he did a lot more. Some days I have good days and my foot doesn't hurt so bad, and then I'm like, oh, I can do stuff, and then I regret that the day after because, dear God, I should not have done things. It's just really frustrating. And with me in a cast for 6 to 8 weeks, I'm not gonna be able to do much. I'm not allowed to put any weight on it, and I don't know what I can do. I don't know how much cooking I can do, because do I have the energy to stand for that long? Can I shower myself, or do I need help to do that? Because I'm not allowed to get the cast wet, so I'm gonna have to get some sort of stool to sit on and put my foot outside of the shower, and we'll figure it out. But like cooking, cleaning, tidying, grocery shopping, getting up to go to the bathroom, like I don't know how much independence I'll have in that, because I've never had my foot in a cast. I've had my arm in a cast, but that's very different. I also don't know what I have to expect after the cast comes off. Yes, rehab, because I will have been immobilized for so long and I'm not going to be able to move my foot much, which is going to hurt. So hey, foot pain. But I don't know what the long-term effect will be. I don't know if I'll regain full mobility. I don't know if I'll have pain afterwards, like obviously initially, but if I'll have pain if I exert myself later. I don't know if I can start running again. I don't know. I haven't gotten a lot of information about that, and I've been Googling a bit, but you know, you shouldn't do that. So I'm having a lot of thoughts, a lot of feelings, a lot of frustration and a lot of anger, and I'm also really, really sad. And I am a little worried that it took too long from the injury to the surgery, because that will have been a bit over 5 months for me to get full mobility back at the end. And that is frustrating. The whole process has been frustrating. But at least all my doctors have taken me seriously, and so did the physio, and I'm very, very grateful for that. But yeah, I'm not coping with this very well. But that's where I'm at right now. March 1st, 2019, 5 months post-injury. This is where I'm at. Still on painkillers, pretty mild ones. I haven't gotten very strong ones, but they're not helping. So maybe I should ask for stronger ones. I'll probably get stronger ones after surgery. But with the move and with Marcus's illness and with everything else, I have not been in the right headspace to do more of this than I have. But yeah, I'm still using crutches. I'm still on painkillers. I'm still using the elastic bandage thing. It probably has a different word, but I can't think of it. So I'm sorry if you've been annoyed with me for the entirety of this video saying the wrong word. But yeah, that's where I'm at. And in 6 days I'm having surgery, and I will try to film an update shortly after surgery telling you how that went and what they did and how it feels to have a cast and all that. And I might lump this and that together and future updates as well as into one long big thing, or I might have multiple parts. I don't know, we'll see. So today is the morning of March 5th and I should be in surgery 2 days from today, but I won't be. I got a call from the hospital around 4 o'clock yesterday that my doctor has the flu, and won't be able to perform surgery, which, I mean, I appreciate him not doing surgery on me when he has the flu, but it means I will not have my surgery that I've been waiting for way too long in 2 days. Instead, it's being pushed back 2 weeks, and I'm now supposed to have it on the 21st instead, which is only 6 days shy of 6 months since the injury. I'm not amused. I kind of broke down when the nurse called me yesterday, and I was really angry, and I was really sad, and I was in a lot of pain. I mean, there's nothing I can do at this point, and it's not like it's anyone's fault. I don't blame him for getting sick, but it just feels really frustrating, and I just feel like my frustration levels keep going up and up and up. I'll either tag on some clips later on of me post-surgery once I feel ready to be on camera again, or I'll make that a separate video. I don't know. If this is the end of this video, then thank you for watching. I'm sorry about the ranting, but that's where I'm at right now. Have a good one. Bye.